Does the victim mentality exist? 100%. I think it does.
Steve gonna probably get a couple hate comments after that.
Steve, is there a victim mentality in a black community? Because I say that I want you to think to put uh, something in mind, because Jesus said, "Carry my cross and follow me." Is it personal responsibility um, to get us where we be? Um, and how do you see it from the Bible perspective that Abraham left his village and moved to his responsibility? You know, what I mean, forget about um, his father and then his family, his friends. Do we get out of the hood and see other places and how we carry responsibility um, um, for our lives and be do what we supposed to do in life? Um, I don't know if I put it clearly, but that's my top question. I want to hear from you guys.
Does the victim mentality exist? 100%. I think it does. But I don't think it's everybody either. Let me say this. Like, this is probably a lot of people are. But I do think that there is a way to hold both in balance. I think there's a way to recognize the injustices, recognize oppression, speak out and fight against it, but also not just wait for white people to come do X, Y, or Z. Like, I think you have to be doing both at the same time. You have to take ownership. You have to do what you can. And I'm not an advocate for people getting out of the hood. Traveling, I think, is great. I think neighborhoods need to be built up. And I think primarily that has to be black families, black leaders, like coming in and helping to restore the thing. And I think the narrative we want to tell and the narrative we often tell, like we talked about last time, there's an article in Detroit. It talks about all these amazing white entrepreneurs that are doing things. That's just not true. Like, they're doing some great things. I get it, but like, there are amazing people here. I think stories like that. I'm not a just pull yourself up by your bootstraps completely. Like, I recognize stuff is stacked against you, but like one of the people that one of the things that like people say that I respect is like, but now what though? Are you just gonna are you just gonna take that and be like, I'm not gonna make it because? Are you gonna give me a list of why you're not gonna make it, or are you gonna push like hell so that like other people can make it, so that other people so that you're gonna be in these spaces and create opportunities and do all this stuff? Yep, it's harder. I also think that like from a resilience standpoint, I think people of color actually have an advantage of coming up against adversity because your whole life is adversity. Because things are stacked against you. And it's always been hard. And so you develop these muscles that like people like me, like don't necessarily have to develop if they're growing up in privilege. So I think perspective is key. Like I said, we probably have to, like, people that have issue with what I said, we probably have to have a long conversation to unpack a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of like individual this, that, and other. But I think it's mixed. I don't think I would not ever say across the board, yeah, everybody has victim mentality. I just think that it exists, for a portion of the population.
Steve gonna probably get a couple hate comments after that. I'll probably get a couple. People may give me some hate comments, or they may just feel a strong way about me. Well, hopefully, if you feel a strong way about me, please have a conversation with me. I'll have some virtual coffee with you to unpack more about it and get some pushback. But I'm not going to be scared to say what I'm thinking, so don't be scared to ask me a question or call me out on it. I welcome it.